Homitakuyeyo Asin. We are all relatives. We are all one. I was trying to get ready. I was going to do some meditation. And my spirit said, start. Start right now. So we're starting right now. So, my loved ones, my relatives, my friends, my people of light. Got incense going. I'm out here in the state forest. It's all blocked off. All the trails are flooded from the big hurricane Milton. But there's some old trail, a trail called the old Fort King Trail, which is trails that they traveled, the Native Americans, the Seminoles and Creeks traveled, and then the frontiersmen used them later to travel from here to Tampa. So it's got a nostalgia, it's got a feeling, it's got a vibe that feels good. So I'm used to that ancient Native American vibe. I'm used to that ancient feeling of light, where there's an energy frequency, you know, sacred sites anywhere in the world. You could be in Machu Picchu or Egypt, or you know, native stoneworks around this country. You know, the mounds in Ohio, Serpent Mound, and all those. Incredible. So I'm going to sing, and but I wanted to wear this bracelet, so I'm trying. Got to tie it, put it through a loop. So one time a friend of mine, we went to Serpent Mound in Ohio. I've been to probably every site in America just by chance. I traveled a lot back in the day with my teacher wife, Mary Thunder, and we were on the road for 4 years without a home. We'd stop at everything and pull off. We'd see petroglyphs, or we'd see sites, or we'd see, you know, vibration, or place that a, you know, meteor had hit, all those things. And so later on, years later, I went with a friend of mine to Serpent Mound, and I'm just a storyteller, so I don't get to the point right away, so you got to bear with me, because it's native way. This is the way I was raised, basically trained, is you just lay out the story. You know, you don't really teach people, you don't tell people. It's not like tarot. I don't use tarot cards, even though I'm a clairvoyant, basically, clairsentient, clairaudient. Got all the clairs. Always have, but they've just been honed over the years. Well, not always, because, you know, you act good, and Creator gives you back your gifts more and more. You know, it's like initiations, you know, trials and tribulations, and they're all tests, they're all initiations. So once you commit to your spiritual development, your spiritual path, your spiritual you know, unity with evolution, because I line up with the ancient mystery schools, and probably where I was, you know, many times. And then you guys too. You wouldn't listen to my channel if you weren't ancient adepts, if you weren't Atlantean, Lemurian, Atlantis, and all the sacred, maybe Tibet druids, right? Even if you don't know it, or you might be young starseeds who, you know, some of them, it's the first time they come to this planet, but they want to know, they want to hear from the old ones, or the ancient ones, or the ones that have been around. You know, my friend said she has had 1,000 lifetimes. She's regressed and knows that, and I would say yeah. I would say yeah, myself. So, you know, we've lost, stolen our purity, our great strengths throughout eternity, well, of the earth, and even in the cosmic battles throughout the universe and universes, and right, of the light and the dark. And this is so Palladian consciousness, they say they're family of light, they're rebels, renegades. Some of them, which is many, of course, they travel around the universe and they helping free planets. Now, I don't know this about myself. I just resonate with when I read the Barbara Marciniak books, Bringers of the Dawn, and another book she has, Pleiadian Keys to the Living Library, and she says that we're family of light. We're bringers of light. We're bringers of information. Information is light. So when we share information from spirit, we're sharing light. And the codes, they're coming in from the sun, they're coming in from the earth, they're coming in from the ancient technology and the downloads that each of us have. And we transmit them to you guys. And you transmit them back. And, you just intend on it. You got to believe. You got to use your imagination, but what is imagination? People say, oh, it's just part of the mind, childlike. Well, what is that? That's your darn soul. That's your blessed soul. That's your memories. That's your knowingness. That's your everything is real in the quantum. And a lot of it's memory coming back. And so these are the times. Archangel Michael said we to get squished down into this body, into this, come into this earth in the womb, and you come out, you forgot everything. We had to leave a lot of parts of ourselves all throughout the universe on the way coming down here. That was just agreement. And then at one point you would start waking up for one way or the other. Whether you read sacred special books, or you go to an event or a ceremony, or start having dreams or seeing things, or you wake up, So as the elders and the master teachers have passed all this down to some of us, all of us, this generation, generationally speaking, and the vibration is raising so much higher on the planet that there's so much light on the planet through the beings, millions, and there's millions strong of the Pleiadians and bringers of light, renegades. They say we come back from the future to right the wrongs. So the Q movement, they say a lot of times, future proves past. Future proves past. And I'll let you guys study that and see what you think that means. Because it took me a while to figure it out, and I can't even tell you what exactly it means, but I sense what it means, and it's just that maybe they can see into the future, or they know something from the future somehow, and that it comes back to us, our future selves. And I was told that. About myself. And so, the past is over. Future's not here. We're in the cosmic now. But that's just one way they speak about it. Future self. If you could imagine a future of multidimensionality and cosmic self, or angelic self, or ascended master self, which is already here on different quantum levels, of course, but the past only holds so much, except for the ancient past. And then the Tibetan Buddhists say we're from beginningless time, we come, and they say never born and never died. Buddhism, when you reach that enlightenment, when you reach that cosmic state, and you can do it every single day in meditation, right? You go in there and you become timeless. You're just like in that zone. You're just in the oneness. You're just in the peace. You're beyond thought. You're in the beingness. Eckhart Tolle says the power of now, the presence. And that's our higher self, our mighty beloved I am presence. I adore thee. I know you take care of all my earthly requirements. Thus I serve. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. To reach the peace that passes understanding, the oneness, the quantum, the isness. That's what ceremony is all about, worldwide. From all the native ceremonies around the world, indigenous people knew. They go in ceremony, they go timeless. Their spirit world comes in. They believe it. We're superimposed, the spiritual world and the physical world. That's why it's hard to live in this world, because everything's a sign, everything's a spirit, because it's multidimensional. They don't use those words, but that's what it is. And so we have an intention. What are we doing here on this earth? What's our mission? What are we doing? We're praying for people. That's all Native people do. Ceremonies, pray for people. They don't ask for things. They don't ask for power. They don't ask for gifts. They don't ask for that. They just pray for people. And the better you are, the more gifts are gonna, as a byproduct, going to come back to you. Your gifts are going to come back. And so, on that peace pipe, you hold that sacred chanupa. There's teachings. It's 19 generations it's been here on this planet, brought by the white buffalo calf woman, who they believe come from the 7 sisters, the Pleiades. She brought their 7 rites that came with the Sioux. You can find them, which is all the ceremonies. It was the hardest times and major drought and famine. And when she came, she brought all these teachings. Some people say she stayed and taught these, and then she left. Some people say she stayed for a lifetime. And it's, you hear about these deities all around the world. Christ, Buddha, to Shiva, Shakti, and all tribes have saintly beings that came along the way. The Quetzalcoatl in Mexico, Viracocha in South America, and 7 arrows of the Cheyenne, and Ascended Masters, all the different, Saint Germain and Katumi, Victory, they call him Victor of the Light. As a master being, come from places, and once you start knowing this stuff, it just is. You don't have to believe it and say, oh, how come no one taught us this? That can't be real, and that's your imagination, or that's, No, it's all the real stuff. And when they try to dumb us down, that it's the educational system they gave us, the science, it's all tweaked. It's all been done by the lower forces that wanted to keep us under control. So we lived in a debt slave system and worked. Who said we were supposed to work 5 and 2, 5 days off, 2 days off, 5 on, 2 off, or most people have to work 6 and 7 days to survive, or 2 jobs, right? So that's slavery. We were meant for that. Tesla was trying to tell us that. He did all experiments on free energy. Look up the Wycliffe Tower in Colorado Springs. He did this amazing, huge, massive tower. It's like a water tower, but it's massive. And that was his place. And all the energy lines in the earth was all just right. That's where he wanted it. And, so many people believe in the Tataria and the free energy and all the ancient buildings that were really, they say they were built in 1800s. Well, that's BS. You look at them, they're like, these are ancient, magical, royal buildings that they could have never done with a horse and buggy and chisels and hammers. So some people say it's like the CERN in Switzerland, they want to change the experimentations to change this into another alternate universe. And so these powers, these beings, these evil entities from other dimensions and universes want to take over and control this world and make it a AI. They want us to become cyborgs. So that's part of the elite. It wasn't just for money and power. It wasn't just for the whole 99% of the wealth. They wanted complete and utter control, and they wanted the futuristic sci-fi where people were interfaced with they call them cyborgs. So you were half AI and half human, and you could just be controlled. The robotics and the Whew. So, didn't want to go too deep too fast, but it's just coming to me, you know? And so basically we want to go back to the natural. We want to go back to the organic reality, which is earth. That's what we get on raw earth. You know, this is our home. This is our planet. She's got everything, every type of DNA here. You know, the seeds of new earth. Mother Earth has a whole layer down there of all the seeds of every plant. Nothing, you know, the way they're putting this into GMO and all that. When the conditions are right, when the vibration, when the frequencies are coming in, the sun flares and all this, these seeds, which I believe are happening now and have been, because they say the Mother Earth is in the 5D already. It's the humans that haven't caught up. And so every plant, every tree, every nut, fruit, crops are coming up with like heirloom seed consciousness, purity, perfection, and innocence again. So that's what we pray for, purity, perfection, and innocence. And we call on the masters. We call on our deity of choice, Christ, God, Holy Spirit, Divine Mother, Ascended Master, Saint Germain, and archangels, cosmic beings, the great cosmic light, and the elementals, which are the spirit of everything. You know, every type of crop and plant and medicine plant. You come along, you find let's say a sage, a stand of sage. You're going to pray. And this is the native Solice. This is, you know, forever. You give some tobacco. You give an offering to the chief of the medicine plant, which could be the whole of all of sage, or that stand, I guess, you know, the consciousness. You don't know which one it is. You just make that offering and you say, I'll never take more than half. So I ensure the life of the species. Could be the life of that stand of sage right there, you know. So that sage stand is always there for this. This is more up north, out west with the sage. So that sage is always there for the next generation, and on and on and on. And we think for 7 generations ahead. As Native people, the Iroquois, when they would, way back, when they were going to dam up a river to make the waters run into different villages or whatnot, or retention ponds or whatever, the council of elders would get together. And remember, the elders were the honored ones, unlike the way we put our elders today. Even if our elders were raised in American society, they have wisdom of age, wisdom of knowledge. I always listen to my mother. I always listen to women and the old men too. The mother's intuition. I always have respected that, because the women are natural oracles, because they can give birth through their body, and they can bring spirit world into the flesh. They're very sacred. Women are sacred, the feminine aspects, and so honored and respected. And most of these tribes are led half the tribes, or portion of the tribes, are all the women were leaders, clan mothers. The Navajo Dene, the women own the houses and the sheep, and they can boot the men out. The Iroquois, Haudenosaunee, this is my bloodline, Onondaga. The clan mothers, the chiefs in every clan, and if they screw up 3 times, clan mothers can get together and boot him out, elect someone else. They had an amazing system of government. Whatever. Anyways, about damming up the river way back, they would think, the elders would get together and they would say, how is this going to affect us 7 generations down the line? They would think 7 generations ahead. Sacredness is 7 generations is a spiritual technology, or a spiritual, 10 commandments kind of thing. And so they would think about, how is our next generation, our children's generation's how's the river's gonna be for them then, before they dam up that river. So it's pretty potent, huh? I don't know if you can see my horse up here on the rider. It's a man on a horse up there. It represents a trail. And on that peace pipe chanupa, they have the teachings, the steps on that pipe: courage, patience, endurance, and love. And there's a fifth one, gift. And my grandpa Wallace, Black Elk, Lakota medicine man, leader, American Indian movement leader, and took one of the first ones to take the chanupa around the world. The sacred technology it's not just a peace pipe, it's the 7 rites, and it's a whole technology from the stars. And the way you do the ceremonies, you got to do them right, or the spirit won't come in. And so you go through a long training. Then you can pass it on. Courage, patience, endurance, love, and gift. And I always wondered what gift meant. And finally he said it one time. He says, gift is when the Creator gives you back your gifts for being good. Your clairaudient, your clairsentience, your psychicness, your ability to know and see and pray and perform miracles. Not you, through you. We're just oracle. We're just hollow bone, hollow reed vessels for the Creator's love. And so that's how that works. So these are the times where the gifts coming back. And we just have to call them back, because we're all good. Those of us that are good, the gifts are coming full force now because we need them. And the vibration's up, entering the higher dimension, 5th dimension. And it's a time of freedom. Got the ants visiting me. I don't kill them. I flick them off. Bye, guys. And so, here we are. We're standing in the light. We're living in the light. We're walking in the light. We're transforming in the light as the sacred sun is setting on this day. I just did a talk about the hurricane. My last two, probably before this one. So I'm back. I need to get some nature. I need to reconnect, get my feet on the ground, or at least I'm absorbing, leave my shoes on this time because of the ants and all, but they took over my coffee over here. Hey, we're all the same. I'm no different than you. We're one. You know, confidence is in the past. It's been confidences come with age, come with experience, come with trial and error, and come with you finally hone your connection over time, and that's true. That's where our elders come in. But the young people today, the 7th generation, the star seeds, crystals, indigos, come with their own wisdom. They already have a DNA awakened, more strand or more codes awakened and within them, and they're just walking. You know, they're doing their thing. They're helping their families. They're going into every field, and they're making a difference, because this world has to change as it's going in 5th dimension. Every system is upgraded, from medical, educational, science, social, the art and dance, music coming back, ceremonial ways. Ascended Master Saint Germain said that the next era is going to be run by a ceremony. And he was even in one of his talks, he come through these. Well, he said that the ceremonial is going to be the way, just like the natives have been doing all along, Earth people. And that it's important to include everyone. Everyone talks, everyone shares. That's why I want to start a Zoom. So anybody knows how to do the Zoom and wants to join in with me, please initiate it and contact me, because I've never set up how to lead Zoom, so I'm pretty darn busy. And I'll come on and we'll have a good time. We'll do prayer, we'll do ceremony, meditation, and talk, and wisdom. I want to hear your wisdom, and I want to build it all together. Where 3, 7 or more are gathered, the Galactic Council of Orion says we'll be there. When they say two or more are gathered, well, now that's just what they say. And so, of course, the more the merrier. The more important. World peace meditations. We got to start those. If you see one online, jump on it and just go into the zone and pray with them and meditate. And not only are you giving your light empowered by 5,000 people, but you get the benefits also. So we're all one. And we're alchemists. We take on the pain and suffering of the world through our I am presence, through the violet fire, through the being a vessel. We just say, God, take it. Christ, I cast the burden. It's not mine. We just stay in joy and harmony and happiness and gentleness, and we just say, I am presence. Magic violet fire, I call on the law of forgiveness. I am, the I am in me. The higher self calls on the law of forgiveness. I am consumes and transmutes. Because it has to be, the Ascended Masters say it has to be consumed. It has to be transmuted and dissolved. And consuming doesn't mean you eat it, you take it on, It's your essence, it's your aura, it's your beingness, it's your connection takes it on. So it's your team, it's your I am presence, everything takes it on. You don't have to say, in the old days, I want to do healing. Oh, I'm getting drained. Oh, it's so hard. Well, that's because your ego was involved. Your small self was trying to do the work. And our systems aren't built for that, but our higher vibrational multidimensional selves are. The balanced chakra, the balanced meridians, the balanced nadis. Some say 5,000 nadis, which are the acupressure points. Some say it's multi-thousands, 20,000, 111,000, or I don't know, all these interesting numbers. But then you ask for your emotional, your feeling world, your mental, your etheric, and your physical to be balanced. You honor the east, the south, the west, the north, the east again, the heavens and with the earth, all mean your heart. We ask for the North Pole and South Pole to be balanced, and through your heart, the inner earth consciousness in your heart, to keep the world balanced on its axis, so we don't have a polar shift thrust off its axis, which could happen in, cataclysmic times. Which this isn't cataclysm, this is just massive transformation, but the negative would have us have that. Nuclear freeze. Biden was saying over and over, oh, it's going to be a hard winter. What is it? What do you call it? A dark winter. It's going to be a dark winter. It's going to be a dark winter. It's like, what the hell does that mean? And he doesn't mean lights are going to go off because it's winter, or whatever, or the power, no, it means you're going to suffer to the no end. You're going to have nothing and like it if the New World Order had their way. So, been worked 12 hours last night, working the hurricanes at night. People, the flooding is still going on. I'm not going to go into that. Keep it light. Somebody asked me to tell some humorous native stories, and and so there was two native guys that were way back, and they were warriors, and they were on the trail or hunting, and they stopped down. They saw some tracks, and they sat down. One leans down. He says, "The white man's been here." And the other guy says, "How do you know?" He says, "Because we're speaking English." And the two Navajo guys, a Navajo and a Sioux guy, were traveling together, Lakota guy. And the Lakota guy went down to Navajo, Dene country, for ceremonies in Mexico, Arizona. And he was there for quite a while. And he came back, and his elder said, "How was it down there? How was the food?" He said, "It was bad, bad, bad." And the Dene Navajo guy was with him. He went to South Dakota for the sun dances in the summer, and he went back. His elder said, "How was it up there? How was the food?" He said, "It was rough, 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 rough." Because there's a high ceremony connected to the Hyoka, clown, trickster, healer societies where they would eat dog. Not regularly, not really, only. And why would they do that? Everybody's freaked out when they hear that. And they say because before the horse never came until 1500s with the Spanish. And before that, they only had dogs. Did you know that? And the dogs would do everything for them. They would, protect them from wolves and coyotes, and they would drag their goods when they would travel because they would follow the buffalo herds or the antelope herds or whatever. At the seasonal, they're nomadic tribes, a lot of them. Well, some of them. And so it was a way of honoring the dog. They said some of them say when they first go over to cross the other side, the dog is there to meet them, greet them. Spirit of the dog. So there's mysterious things and legends we don't know. So that's the joke. One time my chief was at the Sundance, and he's a big old, he passed on. He's a big old fella. God bless him. Rest his soul. And big round guy. He was always doing teachings. And he says, you guys always, he never went to day of white man school. He was hid out. And he sent him around to all the 80, 90-year-old medicine men that had the old ceremonies, about to get lost. They're gonna die out with these medicine men because of, times, government, put on reservations, boarding schools. And so they hid him out. He was like prophesized, and he learned all the old ceremonies, brought it back. He was like a, prophet or, ended up being ceremonial chief of 89 tribes, if that tells you anything. And truant officers were trying to find him, but so he couldn't read or write. He could just write his name. He could just write his signature, but he was head chief. An owl going off. And so he told us at the Sundance, he said, you guys, listen, it was thundering, a lot of rain and lightning around these ceremonies. And he goes, when you see that thunderstorm come, that rain, you go out, your teepee or your tent, you go out there and you take that bar of soap and you wash yourself in that thunder lightning water. You're never going to feel cleaner in your life. And some guys are listening, some guys are just working, and because he was always telling stories and teaching. And so the next morning I heard a thunderstorm come in, and we had a teepee on the same grounds where all these people, like there's about 300 people. I said, I'm going to do what Uncle said. I'm going to go out there. And so I got out there in my short shorts, like sweat shorts, and washing myself, feeling great, and the sun's just rising over the horizon. Nobody's around. I look over about 500 yards. There's this teepee. Uncle's out there in his whitey tighty underwear, his big old belly, no teeth from fighting on the reservation over the years. Big smile. And he's washing himself with soap in the rain. He's like, nephew, go on, nephew, go on. He always loved it when we took on his teachings and absorbed them, and because they were real and they worked, and there was the true old teachings. Always was cooking in cast iron, everything old. One year they had a giant tripod, poles like the size of pine tree poles, tripod. And hanging from it was a big chain, and they had found a cast iron pot that was literally this big around and this tall off the ground. And I walked by it, and it was full of soup, buffalo and cow soup. Threw in potatoes, carrots, whatever, all in there in that soup, and it smelled so delicious, and it was bubbling. It was amazing. And Uncle Leonard, he always did everything big. He never did it small. He says, we are great. We're the greatest people. We're going to do things great. And even though they're on the reservations and, lack of money and, the alcohol and the fighting and then things of being taken out of your home environments, very majestic, regal people, but times were tough. So they depended on their ceremonies, they depended on their leaders and their elders that bring down all these massive, wonderful teachings to the young ones, and all the half-breeds that come back and all the non-Indians that come in that were accepted in. all of my teachers were called four-race teachers because they never saw color. They said, everybody, you know, because our medicine wheel right here, white, black, red, and yellow. So yellow is Asian, white, Caucasian, black is Black Nation, and red is Native. And they said long ago we had a sacred hoop where we were all one. We were oneness. We didn't separate. We didn't fight. We were at peace and harmony and got along. And what happened is the sacred hoop, they call it, got broken. The sacred hoop of love and peace and harmony got broken. And these are the times the elders, a few generations ago, they said, you guys, the prophecy is that you younger people would go about mending the sacred hoop, bringing the people back together. So everyone accepted in the ceremony. So I was accepted in, and to Sundance, a lot of us, we had, 20 dancers. We danced with 300 full-blood Indians, and there was only a couple of, they call us non-Indian camps, and we were accepted. I mean, there was subtle reverse prejudice because they don't trust the white man at all, but they say if you got a good heart, you work hard, you laugh, you're willing to do everything, you want to learn our ways, you're one of us. You're basically adopted, Lakota or whatever tribe. And so that's great. And when you're one of them, is while you're there, you're one of them. If you leave, whatever. And that's how we regain, because it was really good for the Native people, because a lot of non-Indians come to the reservations for all the sun dances and powwows and things in the summertime. They bring their money, they buy everything at the trading posts, they spend money all in the towns, and it helps the economy and everything. So we all work together. It's a symbiosis. It's just the way it is. And as long as you keep your mouth shut and you learn, they don't want to hear from you. You come there to learn. Complaining doesn't exist on the res. You just do. You either don't talk. Native people don't talk, or they're working, or they're laughing, and the elders are doing the teachings. You don't come in there with your ego. You don't come in there saying, I'm this, pound your chest. They'll put you in your place so fast. And it's always funny. It's always teasing, laughing, joyful. Because they put you in every situation, you fall on your face. Real teaching. They're real teachers. And you get up, you run into something, you're like so embarrassed. You're like, what the hell? And they said, good job. You learned something, right? Yeah, sure did. So we had two guys. One guy didn't have a dad. The other guy was from New York City, and he's just a city guy, and he just didn't know much. And so these two guys come in the middle of the night, and they said, hey, there's two full-blood Indians in their jeans and their T-shirts and their long black hair. And they said, hey, we got a deer got hit on the road. We need some guys to come over and skin it. And so we chose these two guys. One guy without a dad, one guy from New York City. And they took off. They come back hours later. They come march back into camp. We're all up eating breakfast, and they're covered in blood. Not bad, but spots of blood. And they're like so beaming happy. They're so happy. They're saying, we said, how'd it go? They said, we skinned that deer first time, right? And they said, they were skinning. They said, whatever you do, don't poke that. Don't stab that stomach, because that's going to stink. And those Indian elders, those guys, those warriors, held lanterns for those guys all night while they skinned those deers and taught them how to do it. Now tell me that's not compassion and wisdom and understanding. They didn't have to do that. They could be oversleeping. We work hard. We have sleep. They did that for these young men. And those things happen as spirit. Spirit guided those guys. Spirit did this. Spirit do. We're all in spirit. And so those guys needed it. They got it. I've been through a lot of those lessons like that in my early years. Fun, beautiful. And oh my gosh. So it's joyful, it's joyful. You have to, that's high vibration. Joy is high. Laughter is high vibration. It doesn't get, even the Center Masters say laughter is one of the highest vibrations, because you break up all energy. So Native people, they laugh all the time. And they have reasons to really, they're stoic and they're warriors, and so there can be a little ego, but they diffuse everything. Warrior society, Lakotas, kind of a male thing, but and the women, are honored. Well, there's a lot of challenges there too, but we try to bring in that feminine, because my native wife, she was our leader of our camp, and they respected her because Leonard respected her, the chief, and because she was a spirit speaker. She had a death experience, and they give her a connection to their spirit, to their guides, to their lineages. She walked with those spirits. Mary Thunder tells a story that Grandpa Wallace initiated her into hers. He put this medicine around her neck. He says, "You're going to wear this," and it was a medicine bundle on a big abalone shell piece circle. And I can't remember how it happened, but her ex-husband was with her and somebody else, and they weren't getting along. They ended up divorcing, and that he was kind of up in front of her a little bit or something, and just before Grandpa walked up with that medicine, she said the spirit came and just pushed him away, and pushed this other guy away, just pushed him 3 or 4 feet away. She didn't know what happened. It was like a force, a wind. And then Grandpa walked up and put this medicine around her. He said, now you do our work too. We're all together. We do this. She wore that every day for the 16 years we were together. And so, different medicines like that, You have the shamanic training. I fell off the roof in Texas at the ranch, 2000, and broke my ankle in 15 places. And they called the chief, and they said, "Hey, how'd he do? Did he make it?" They said, "Yeah, he lived." Good. That's all he said. I said, "What does that mean?" And later on, we interpreted it. What it meant was that if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. And so, in the old ways, you would get your stripes by doing good in battle or bravery, or you would face a wild animal and kill a cougar or whatever, or survive the scars, and that was when you have these things happen to you and you walk away, you're stronger for it. You lived. I hit my head. I had like a shamanic experience, like a near death, and my life just changed massively. From then on, I got super psychic. Everything was happening. I was just changed. I changed. I think a big part of my I Am Presence, higher self, anchored into me. And that happens too. Some people have walk-ins. They walk in, they say, an agreement they made before birth is that we're going to need these higher vibrational souls that come in, but we don't have time for them to just be born in and then grow and then learn all. So this is supposedly true. You can study it, walk-ins. They would, at some point, this person would have a car accident or whatever, and they would die somehow, and their soul would leave, or a portion of their soul would leave, and this other higher vibrational cosmic being, angelic, would come in, and they would be like a different person. I have several friends that are walk-ins, or the walk-ins with them, both, because the higher self is going to always be there, but you're more of your higher self and the walk-in. So it's like guides, but it becomes of the body, so that angel can steer that body and make that much more difference in the world. It's really powerful. I don't think that happened to me. I just think my higher self anchored in. So I want to share some messages, teachings. Sun's going down here. Got to work in the morning. Love this nature. Remember to call in your master teachers, Elohim, into your heart. Send a Master Saint Germain or Christ to me. Knock and the door shall be open. Ask and you shall receive. Because we have free will. They can't interfere. It has to be an agreement. Some of those are pre-birth, but the main one is that you do ceremony. You call in spirit, and at the end you sing a song that the spirits go home. The ceremony's over. You don't want them lingering around, because it's, you're going back into the worldly world, and that can be conflict, and then crazy things can happen, and weird stuff fall off shelves, and all this. What's going on? So, oh, I forgot to close the gates and send the spirit home. Oh shit, you better. And then we always do a spirit plate as soon as we make, afterwards we always have a feast, and the first plate is made for the spirits. You take it out, put a paper plate, put it in the fire, or put on the ground, and you give all the best. It's like the Irish always have a bottle of whiskey on their, for the deceased, on top of their, next to their casket, and pour them a drink, because their spirit can enjoy that. And that's just a remnant of an ancient Celtic Druid way. Well, the Americans are still quite alive, and we feed them, and we give them a cup of coffee. We'll give them a big old plate of food. You don't be stingy. They always say that, don't be stingy with the spirits. That's what the spirits are doing to you. You always give thanks. And you know, you give, honor the higher self. Give your higher self the glory, the God self. The mighty I am presence within, spark of God, the oneness. Honor that. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thank you for everything. I am presence. I send waves upon waves of love and gratitude, and I love you infinitely more every wave I send to my I am presence. I'm infinitely grateful, more grateful for every wave I send. Gratitude to my mighty I am presence. And that's a key and a code, and that's Ascended Master teachings that connect you in immediately to your heart, to the sacred cosmic Christ self of the heart. Connects you to everything with everything in existence. When we pray that way, things change. Healings are non-stop in Native Way and Ascended Master ways. So I thank the trees. I call down the Elohim, the I am presence, the unfed flame, the threefold flame of the heart to the sevenfold flame of the Elohim. It's the 7 Elohim beings. And then you connect to the central sun, the sun, central sun, which is the heart of the I am, of the great I am presence. And we call down love's indestructible purity, love's indestructible perfection, shining as bright as the noonday sun on our crowns, in our hearts, every cell. 70 trillion cells, suns, 70 trillion central suns. We push it out into the emotional, mental, and etheric bodies. We ask the masters and the cosmic beings to push back in. And as that's happening, as we're like a diamond being crushed, we're being in the great compression, the divine compression. It's like a sprout making its way through the soil, through all that hardness before it sees the light of day. Diamond being compressed in coal, you're compressing, dissolving the human condition. Dissolving, consuming, and transmuting the human condition. We make a vow and commitment to never ever tap into this psychic or astral planes ever again, all of eternity. And that means that astral level that is full of all the negativity of all of humanity for eons. But we tap into the cosmic and the etheric and the higher vibrational, the highest levels, yes. It's like breaking through the atmosphere, like a rocket ship breaking through the atmosphere into the emptiness of space, the without gravity space. Same thing, really. We focus on only light, never darkness, never fear, never horror movies, never the fear of the news. Nope. We keep it light, we keep it right, we keep it bright. Keep it all right, baby. Because there are forces that want to bring us down. And just like hurricanes, the negativities will try to bring people down, people lost with their homes and all that. It's really sad because, man, aren't they going through enough? But it's our job to anchor in the higher vibrations and stay in them no matter what. not to drop into those lower. Sure, you can feel your emotions and cry and all that. Yeah, feel it to heal it, but you don't wallow in there. You don't get stuck in it, because then you get stuck in lower vibrations. You want to fall back in drugs and alcohol and 7 deadly sins because you feel hopeless or whatever. Nope. You have that massive faith. You have that massive knowing. You have that massive light, happiness, goodness, joy. Keep everybody else up. One of my elders, Buddy Redbow, he said, you know, we're always laughing in our native way. And he said, when the hardest times in the winter, way up on those prairies, the hardest times is when we laugh the hardest. Dead of winter is when we laugh the hardest. Make sense? Way ha ho hey oh hey oh hey oh hey. Way ha ho hey oh hey oh hey oh hey. Way ha ho hey oh hey oh hey oh hey. Way ha ho hey ho hey ho hey. Way ha ho hey. Way ha ho hey. Way ha ho hey. We use our dominion on earth, authority and power as vessels to call in, to decree, to beautify, purify all of Mother Earth, awaken the seeds of new earth. Affirm, I am is the great creative heart of God. I am is a great creative mind of God. They say ideas can come to you that no one's ever had on this earth ever before. You could be gifted in a vision, knowledge, teachings. Go 100 years ahead of present society. Where do you think all those inventions came from? All of the great conventions of the world, like Tesla, free energy. That's futuristic. That's quantum, expanded higher consciousness, higher civilization stuff. Way ho way oh hey ho hey hey. Way ha ho hey ha ho hey ha ho hey. Way ha ho hey ho hey ha ha ha. Way ho way ho way ha ho way ha ho way ha ho way ha ho way ha. Way oh way oh yo. Piece of organite I made. Metal, crystal, copper, shungite, healing meteorite stones on Earth, compressed in resin. That was like an experimental model there. It's powerful. Aura goes out and out and out and out. You know, if you have enemies, you never fight back. You stand your ground, but you never use black magic. You never have hatred or fear, or want revenge. You never do that. You have a massive trust, the guidance of every level, your guide, it's all to strengthen you. It's all tests, trials, initiation. So you have to become stronger. You use that darkness. As you use it one time, black magic one time, you're going to be hooked into the dark could hook you in. So don't do that. They said use the dark. You use it. It uses you. Because nobody knows how to handle the dark. The Hyokas, nobody knows that. There's so much density on this planet, in this universe, nobody knows. You don't play with that stuff. You stay in the light. You make it right. You transmute it to violet fire. Call on law of forgiveness. Those are your tools. Call on the masters. Come and do your own ceremony while you're doing your meditations. And just ask for everything to be made right. Bring it all back into balance. What do you think balance, harmony, equilibrium, homeostasis is? We're here to balance the 4 lower bodies, they say. The Ascended Masters. Emotional, mental, etheric, physical, completely balanced. Head, heart, and hands. All balanced, from the heart up, upper chakras. It's pouring out your Taurus field, your Merkaba spinning. Well, so you do all that. So, but you let go. You do not let them. The karma's coming. The karma's coming. The problem is people think, this won't stop, this won't stop, this won't stop. I can't beat them or whatever. Yeah, sometimes they said karma does take a while. Honestly, it could take years. A year or 2 years, 5 years. It could. But they said the longer it takes, the harder it hits. And what that means hits is it means everything they put out comes back to them. Everybody knows that rule. So, it's just a matter of time. But so you just stay the course. You've got to have massive tenacity. You have to have massive patience, endurance, steadfastness, massive inner strength. You got to hold the course. You can't want everything to change. You want the new earth and the new systems to be here when you wake up in the morning. You just have to try. You have to keep going. That's why we're here. That's why we have a whole lifetime. That's why we go through tests and trials. We're here. We're here to do not the work. They say don't use the word work. Use the word activity. Because of course we have to do activity in this world. That's why we're here. Physical bodies, doing physical stuff, and spiritual feeling and mental, using the mental powers. So, but don't let them get you. If you start falling into your old stuff, it's not somebody doing it to you. It's you lowering your vibration, and that vibration is there. It's always there. They really can't hurt you. They can only test you or try to delay you or bug you. And like there's a joke saying, no flies on Jesus, no flies on Jesus. You say that, you feel something, no flies on Jesus. And they say, be gone, I cast the burden, I cast you out. In the name of God, call down the blue lightning, Christ blue lightning, and snap it out of here. Annihilate it out of this universe is what they say. Annihilate out of this universe, annihilate out of this universe, annihilate out, annihilate. I do it 7 times or more. And then you replace that. It's gone. You have no right here. We have dominion over lower vibration. That's the dominion we have by being higher vibrational. So you replace it with the cosmic Christ, Divine Mother, the light of the angels, archangels, cosmic beings of your cosmic light, etc. Your highest self, your highest I am presence. Start with the I am presence. You always say I am presence first, because you've got to start from your core, which is the God self. God comes first. Whew. And they say that. Yes, of course. The Elohim, 7 Elohim of the forehead, which is, they say that we have cells that are anchored in our brain. And they say the forehead, they don't say third eye, they just say, because there's 7 across here, as these cells. And they said when we connect to them, it's a secret teaching from the masters of the mystery schools, and it's coming back out now, and I'm helping bring it out. They say they will always monitor your mind. They will always make sure your brain, your mind, will always stay in that higher vibration, that light. Won't fall down in those old thoughts and those negativities and those fears and those doubts and those worries. No. As soon as you start having doubt, fear, and worries, you say no. You snap it. You say, no, I am presence. I neutralize. I nothingize. I am is the governing power of this body, mind. And I am governs with harmoniously such things. I'm the mighty, infinite, electronic light band of protection from the masters. Electronic doesn't mean electric, like a strange, like a doesn't seem real word. It's the electrons. It's the powers of the millions and billions of energy of life force coming through the prana, through the mana, through the chi you breathe in. Endless amounts of electrons coming. They said they have consciousness. They're like elementals or small things or fairies or the things you can't see in the air. They're actually alive. So you honor everything with life. You honor the electrons. Say thank you. because they give their life every day. They go to places where the pollutions are. They go to places where hurricanes. They go to places where, nuclear waste. And they work through us every day, like channel right through us, like neutrinos. Go right through you from the sun. And you acknowledge that. And you breathe in that light. You fill every cell constantly. That's what pranayama is about. You do it continually. You say, I'm tired, I'm tired. Just walk around in the fresh air. Get this, hug a tree. It's really, vibrations are coming out of there. And the highest, natural, organic, set you back just like to your original organic. And the Buddhists say intrinsic reality, meaning from beginningless time, your very essence, who you really are. So all that wisdom from beginningless time, which means everything. That's how we say, people say connect to the co-create. We're demigods or whatever. We're co-creators with God because we're one with everything. We're multidimensional. We're one with everything. We're one with the beginning of creation. God said, let there be light, and there was light. That's what we follow. In darkness, only absence of light. So you bring your light into the darkness. You pray for. That's why you pray for your enemies. You bring light in the darkness, it neutralizes it. Because you love them, you want to be best friends with them. You want it to be you want light across the earth. So you bring that vibration. You want to bring the vibration up. So you go into a room, switch a light on, darkness gone, right? It's like an illusion. It's not really real. It's a shadow. Shadow on the ground is not really real, right? So it has no power anyways. It's not real. Only light, only God, only love. He created this world, the perfect world. He wanted us to lack nothing, God's green earth. He wanted us to be happy. But man decided he wanted to control and be the power and play God, split the atom and make clones and, right? Change people's DNA from Atlantis, 12 strands, Lemuria, down to 2 strands, make us a slave state. Arch deceivers, pre-Lemurian epic arch deceivers, the Ascended Masters say, so they've been here a long time. We've been here a long time. They're powerful because they're smart. I mean, they've had much experience as we do in a sense, the ones that chose the dark paths. So we just use light. There's nothing more powerful. Saint Germain says light is the alchemical key. You come out of meditation and you say, I'm a child of the light. I love the light. I serve the light. I'm one with the light. I'm illumined, protected, sustained, supplied, satiated by the light. And they say you are what you meditate on. You become what you meditate on. You are what you think. Whatever you focus on. So if you're focusing on light and love and in every single thing, that's why we do it. So highest vibrations, highest frequency, highest versions of ourselves. That's what you become. So he says light is from the beginning. Light is the control and the power of all things. And control means you basically from the origin, from the original, the native elders used to say, reconnect in ceremony, reconnect to your original blueprint, who you really are, your genetic memory awakened to all time. And that's what we are, and that's what we're doing. And it's not for me, it's not me becoming that, it's me sending that wave consciously to every being's heart. The I am in me is the same I am in you, of all beings. I am is the only activity in the hearts and minds of humanity everywhere. We were taught to say that once a day. And with feeling. You got to say all these prayers. That's why I'm passionate. You got to say it with passion. I say 80% of the prayers that get answered in the decrees and the teachings and the belief in yourself is with passion. 80% is with feeling. I want to have a burning desire to know God. I want a burning desire to be my highest potential, my highest self. I want to help this world at the ultimate level, what I came here for. I want my family to be happy. It's not for me. It's not for the little me. It's not for my selfish needs. They're going to get answered, yes, but you have to, what you put out comes back. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Give it as you receive. What goes around comes around. You know? You're generous, you get treated generously. And it doesn't look like what society says. Money, 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 millionaires, you know, more Lamborghinis. That's the materialism. That's being tricked by the lower sinister forces. One other thing I want to say earlier about playing with the darkness. Saint Germain in his writings, teachings through Guy Ballard and his wife, Lotus Ray. Godfrey Ray King and Lotus Ray King were their pen names. They both channeled. He passed on early. She kept teaching for 30, 40 years. Brought all of these teachings through in the 1930s, 40s, up to 70s. Just a side note, but he said, Saint Germain said, don't lie. Don't tell a white lie. If you even tell a white lie, you are aligning with the sinister forces of this world. So you do anything that's of the lower vibration, anything, lying, cheating, stealing, power and control, ego, you're aligning to that. You're aligning to the lower 7 deadly sins. Density of this earth, stuck in the lower 3Ds. Love, mercy, passion, commitment, harmony, celebration, tenacious, authenticity, fearlessness. Fearlessness, you line with the highest 5th, 6th, 7. You go right up into the ascension column, consciousness. Transfiguration, ascension, resurrection, and ascension like Christ did. That's what we're doing now. It's a motivator, isn't it? It's a motivator to know that stuff. I don't want to drop down in there. And if you do, you feel it to heal it, and you say, God, bring me up. God, I need you. Yeah, it's like you hit bottom. Your addictions, alcohol, drugs. And you say, you're the only thing that can do it. And you're aligning to your God's open, you know, you're not giving the power out there, you're keeping the power within. They say you won't. One of my, the spirit guides walking with years ago said, through my past wife, partner of 15 years, she was a channel, and she said, they said, you won't find it in a book, you won't find it in a sweat lodge, you won't find it in a tree, Jeff. You'll only find it in yourself. And that's what I had to do, was find it in myself. So just find it in yourself. You're not going to find it with your mind. You're going to confuse, and I can't figure it out. You go into meditation, you take a notebook, you do deep meditation, 20 minutes at least twice a day, if even it's 5 minutes. Have your notebook there, and any little thing that comes up, any little thought, just the littlest thing you think, oh, no big deal, you write it down. You come on, right on. Look at it later that day, next day, and you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I almost forgot that. And that could be the biggest key. God whispers and the ego shouts. Way ya ho, way ho, hey ho, hey hey, way ha ho, hey ha ho. I still wish I still had my braids. Way ha ho, hey ho, hey ha ha, but I'm hot. Way ha ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey hey. Way ha ho, hey, way ha ho, hey. I was gonna wear my boots, but I can't find them. I think I left them on my bus. Everything is a swirl with this hurricane. I thought I'd come into work Saturday morning. I thought it was Sunday morning because I'd worked overnight. Way ho way ho way. My phone's about to shut off. Way ho way ho way. Way ho way, way ho way. Way ho way, way ho 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 way way. Love you all, you're my family. Let's start zooming together. Hey ha ho way Yahoo, hey. My last video about the hurricane, or the first one about the hurricane, I gave people my phone number if they want to text me, because I'm off Facebook, because I got kicked off and I'm enjoying not being on it. And my email is all lower caps, one word, all one word, no spaces, Diamond Light Designs 1, Diamond Light Designs with an S, number 1, at gmail.com if you want to contact me. Peace, good, happy, transformative. You can do it. You are doing it. You are as awakened as I am. My voice is awakened, yours can awaken. Do them writings, talking to your voice recorder. Just gain that confidence. You are it. You have gifts. You have endless gifts that I don't have. So we're all unique. Love you.